Hello. Hi, Christina. Hello, hello. Would you like to learn how to read minds today?
I do.
Oh, good, good. Here, I'm going to take a piece of paper and write a number down on it.
From what to what?
1 through 4.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm going to read your mind. Take a piece of paper and write down a number. One through 4. 1, 2,
Okay.
3, or 4.
Okay.
Hold up the number. How did I do that?
I don't know.
It's what I wrote down. I mean,
That's scary.
How did I do that? Did I just?
Oh, that's scary.
Did I just read your mind?
I don't know the psychology of it, but I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah. The ability to know what someone else is thinking. Speaking of what someone else is thinking, look at that smile. What's she thinking?
I want to know. I want you to tell me what I'm thinking right now.
You're obviously in a good mood.
I'm always in a good mood.
You are. And that's a good quality to have. That's a good quality. Can we read people's mind? That's my topic. Hello, Cameron. Do you know Christina? Say hello to each other. Introduce.
Hello.
I do. Hello. How are you?
Good. And yourself?
Good. Clyde, Claude, I love how you're drinking out of a Pyrex measuring cup. That's fantastic.
I love it because it microwaves so well.
I mean, I
wouldn't microwave my Diet Pepsi, however.
I should say I'm always in a good mood, but sometimes I fake it. So.
Okay, faking it is important in sales. Look, it's Ladies' Day. I love this. This is wonderful. All the ladies are here. This is great. Because are women? Let me ask something. We've always heard. Have you ever heard the term? And it's Valerie. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Hi, everybody.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the term a woman's intuition? Right? What do you think about that term? Do women have a special power to intuitively read situations or avoid problems or maybe see things before they occur or have this heightened awareness? Do women have intuition? Do you think that's a gift that women have?
Well, I think women would be labeled as more emotional, and so maybe they can sense energy or body motions or non-verbal cues more than men could.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
What do you think, Valerie?
Yeah, I do think they have intuition. Not saying that men don't, but I definitely think, I definitely know that women do.
My wife can read my mind. It's so damn scary. She knows what I'm going to say or do before I say and do it so much. And maybe that comes from 36 years of being together, possibly. You know how to read another person after a while. Do you think women have that skill? Because that's through evolution. Through they've evolved where men are more muscular, stronger. Women have to have their own defense mechanisms also. So maybe they can avoid problems or dangerous situations or know what's going on. Do you think that's possible?
Absolutely. Because I mean, I've read somewhere, I don't know where, that women have a broader spectrum of color. So they see more different colors because before we used to be gatherers. So if you picked a poisonous berry, it depended on your color perception.
Absolutely. So, hi, JC. I'm sorry, you're going to have to leave. It's Ladies' Day.
Good morning.
No, I'm kidding.
Hello.
We're talking about, so when I say mind reading in sales and business, and I've done a lot. I made a few phone calls today. I made one phone call to a police detective for 40 years. And I asked him, I said, sometimes if you pull over somebody and you're just pulling them over because do you ever see a situation where instinctually, there might be something wrong? There's nothing visibly you can see, but instinctually, a gut. Have you ever had that happen? And he was telling me a story about, was 1 o'clock in the morning. There were four 17-year-olds in a car, and he pulled it over, and there was a hell of a lot of drugs and a gun in the car. And they were driving nicely, and they were obeying the law, and there was nothing wrong with the car, the registration license, but he just had an instinct. And I said, was that instinctual? Why did you do that? He said, really, because it was experience. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, and I saw four very young people in the car. And he said that was enough to tell me that there was a possibility and everything like that. So I'm fascinated by this subject. Where am I going with all this? Do you think when we're speaking to people, we can get in the first phone call? I think a lot of us waste too much time going back and forth in sales, whether it's real estate or anything else. Oh, that's great. I'm glad I could answer all your questions. I'm going to send you that follow-up material, and let's talk in a week or 2 weeks or something like that. Do you make any money when that back and forth, think about it stuff happens? So I really believe that if we can find the problem, if we can discern what the real need is, or the motivation, if we can make it emotional enough by the questions, the way we ask questions and communicate with those persons, can we get an idea of how to make it more emotional? Or can we qualify that person? Do they have the money to do the deal, or do they own the property, or all the information we need? If we get somebody who's saying, we're watching them on Zoom, and yes, no, I don't know, and everything. What's that going to tell us? Their body language, their demeanor, their verbal communication. What's that going to tell us?
I recently had, go ahead, Christina.
Oh, I was just going to say that basically means they don't want to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
I recently had a guy on Zoom, and Ed and I were talking to him, and he would go every once in a while. It told him how things would work, because those were his questions. He would go, and I said, this guy is not going to do business. And sure enough, he said he would, but he did not follow through. He kept shaking his head, and to me, that was an indicator.
Yeah. And you can read that. Can you read people physically? How about their eyes? If you ask somebody a simple question, okay. JC, what did you have for dinner last night?
Eggs with yuca.
Okay. That was a very simple question. Were you all watching JC in that moment? I asked him a very simple question about what he had for dinner last night. What happened? What did he do? Did you notice?
He paused and looked up.
Yep.
What else?
Start thinking about it.
What else did he do?
He put his hands to his lips.
Mm-hmm. Where did his eyes go?
Up in the air. They went up.
They went up, right? Would you say he was telling the truth?
No, he was consciously in thought trying to figure out his lie.
No. Did you really think I don't think he was lying. Did you really get that? Or
Yeah. Were you lying, JC, or did you have eggs?
I didn't.
Yeah, he was totally lying.
Okay. So when his eyes went up, he was thinking of what to say instead of speaking spontaneously.
Correct. He had to come up with his lie.
Okay. That's
And
interesting.
it takes 3 seconds to come up with a lie.
Okay.
Is there a book on that?
What did I have for dinner?
She knows him a little better than me and Christina probably.
I have never met this man in my life.
Oh.
Good job, Cameron.
Wait, her eyes just went up. She might be lying.
No, it was an immediate response. I wasn't lying. Nice try.
That's too good, though.
Okay.
Hey,
So
it's training.
Can we learn? This is why I love videos so much, by the way. Do you think when you have an appointment with somebody, this is a better medium to read people, what they're thinking, what they're feeling? Can you see their hands, their eyes, the tilt of their head? So, do you ever get everybody here have a dog, and you went to the dog and you said something, and The dog went like that. Okay. They're trying to figure out what it means, possibly. They're curious.
Yeah, but I'm a strong believer of that, of the lies never lie. I always say that. If you look at somebody in the eyes, you'll get the truth.
Well, how can you see, if you look somebody right in the eyes and you ask them a question, what can you figure out if they're lying? Where we just demonstrated how long it takes to answer maybe an uncomplicated question.
Right.
Okay. What else can you read from the eyes?
Body language. It's just, we kind of know after so many years, we kind of know how people give the truth, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, there's micro expressions on the face.
Micro, good word,
Yeah.
good word. How about the blink rate? Where the eyes are going? Are they going to the corner? Are they going up in the head? Are they tilting their head up or down and things like that? Can we read a lot of stuff when we're first meeting? We're meeting with a prospect. We want to do a real estate deal, for instance. And we start, and that's why I love Zoom. It's just, to me, what an advantage to be, so live with somebody. I mean, this is when you have a good computer and a good Wi-Fi. I mean, there's no delay or anything, and all that. So, can you read people by the way you ask the questions and the way they react?
Yeah.
Absolutely. If you ask somebody about, do you have a budget set aside? Christina, do you have a budget set aside? This is a very expensive property. Are you pre-qualified, or do you have 50,000 to put down today?
No, I'm sorry.
Did you hear the okay. If you had $50,000 in your bank account, and I said, do you have 50,000 in your bank account?
Yeah.
Yeah, boom.
Mm-hmm.
Spontaneous answer. You ever hear the term Freudian slip? Sometimes people say things they didn't mean to say, but the truth, the subconscious just wouldn't let you lie. It just came straight out. There was no filters or anything. It just, the truth came out. They didn't want to say that, but they did say what they were really thinking.
How do you get someone to do that, though? How do you get someone to say what they actually mean?
You might want to ask several questions. This is why we have the agenda step, by the way, in the gut sales method. Can I have your permission? Christina, can I just ask you, I want to learn more about you and your situation so I can help you. Can I ask you 2-3 quick questions? Would that be all right with you?
Sure, if they're quick enough.
I'll try to make them real fast, and that way I'll know more about your situation, and I can give you a couple ideas, or maybe even make you an offer on your property if you'd like. Is that okay?
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you. You're wonderful. Thank you so much. And if we can do business, great. If not, you can just tell me, you can fire me right away. You don't have to tell me you're going to call me back or think about it. Okay. We can be a very adult here.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay, good. Boom. And then, so that's the agenda. There's a lot of stuff in that agenda step. First of all, have you ever met a salesperson who who told you, please fire me?
Never.
Yeah. Why do you think I do that? Crazy Claude. Why does he would you please, you don't have to say you'll think about it. Just tell me to get lost, fire me. So just say no. Why would I do something crazy like that?
You're showing me up front that you don't want to waste your time or mine.
Mm-hmm. Using a little bit of assertiveness, professionality, letting you know I'm a pretty busy person. There's a lot of stuff going on there.
Is that reverse psychology?
I'm sorry?
Is that like reverse psychology where you're
I think so. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's going, the subconscious is registering it, maybe not the conscious person, but it's all going into that hard drive back there. Back to Christina's question, how do we get to the, paraphrase it again, get to the truth, or get somebody to say what they probably don't want to say?
Yeah, because it comes a lot of time where they're kind of gatekeeping their property, where they like the idea, but they don't like to do the idea with you per se, because you're an investor or so forth.
You're intruding. So a lot of people, especially in real estate, And if I go to Cameron, I say, Cameron, I'm an investor and everything. What's the balance of your mortgage?
That's none of your business.
None of your dang business, right? So and so many people, maybe they say it a little sweeter, a little nicer, but it's an intrusive question, isn't it? I'm a stranger. Mom said, don't talk to strangers. And I'm a total stranger on a phone or whatever. And you ask that question, and 90% of the time someone say, why do you need that information? Why is that important? That's none of your damn business. Okay. What if you ask it in a different way? However, Cameron, round numbers roughly, this would really help me in the offer I'm going to make you. Would you say your mortgage is small, medium, or large at this point, if you don't mind me asking?
Medium.
Medium. And medium, it's a $400,000 house. You've owned it for 20 years. So is that 50, 100, 150,000, roughly, round numbers?
How much I pay every month?
No, but what the balance is, I'm sorry, 50, 100,000, 150,000 left on the balance, round numbers, roughly.
50,000.
Thank you for that. Boom. What was the difference just now in those two methods?
Well,
Instead of,
Multiple choice.
yeah.
and you make them believe that they're not giving up confidential information when they really are.
Yeah.
Right. And what was my tonality, the way I spoke? Was it softer?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit softer, a little bit maybe slower. I might have said something, if you don't mind, round numbers, roughly, between you and me.
It was
Okay.
relatability, trust.
And when you say
Okay.
round numbers, people don't think they're giving up as much.
Right.
Mhm.
But to see the difference between how you ask the question, the enunciation, the tonality, the pentameter, the volume, sometimes speaking softer and slower might be a better way to communicate. A little stroking, a little nurture. If you don't mind, I know you're busy and everything. I just round. Is your mortgage at this point small, medium, or large? That's so non-offensive, isn't it?
Mhm.
Okay. But I just got good info. And then I fine-tuned it a little because she started to answer the question. She said medium, and then I fine-tuned it again with a little bit more specifics. Okay. 50, 100, 150,000. And I can keep doing that because now I got her into the answer mode. Okay. How important is it to get somebody to keep answering questions? But if you just abruptly say, how much do you owe, Cameron? That's not going to work. So it's the way, I guess it's the way you ask the questions, or maybe you want to ask it another. Can you help me, Valerie? I am so confused here on it. Your property is still for sale?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay. And you've owned it, what, 20, 30 years, I believe you said?
25.
It's probably paid off, probably free and clear by now.
Not yet. So I answered all your questions.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. It's the way you ask the question. Okay, you might intersect that. Hello, Tiba.
Hello.
Welcome aboard. Are you a mind reader?
No, that's why I'm here.
Pick up here. I wrote a number down on this piece of paper. Pick a number between 1, 2, 3, or 4.
3. That's amazing.
Is there assumptions we can make about human behavior, psychology, suggestions we can offer to people that can give us almost the ability, and this is nothing more than a trick, by the way. Okay, it's a trick. I can't read minds,
Did
but I
you
can.
just,
I'm sorry.
were you emphasizing the word 3 when you said it?
Gee, I don't know. Was I?
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did.
And about 90% of the time, if and I've got a 1 out of 4 chance. That's pretty good odds.
Mhm.
And if you emphasize the way you said the word, it's pretty easy. That 75, 85% of the time, someone's going to say 3.
Mhm.
Okay. So you think, wow, how did he do that? Oh my gosh. It's a little bit of common sense, a little bit of psychology on it. So when we speak to people in one phone call, in one meeting, how great would it be to know, what are the things that we want to know? If we could read their mind, what's important in real estate? You're looking to negotiate a deal. What's the most, what are the things, or any prospect in any situation, what are the things you really want to know from that person? If you could read their mind, what would you want to know? What would be important?
The motivation.
Motivation, biggie. Okay, and we have a little barometer. We call it the guts barometer. 1 meaning they could care less. 10 meaning it's urgent, it's important. Do we love when they're, do we love the prospect who's the 8, 9, or 10?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they're motivated. I got to get rid of this property. Oh my gosh, we're moving and it fell out of escrow and everything. We had a situation like that this year, my daughter and I, for a really great deal in Pasadena. Someone just like that fell out of escrow, and you do you think you can hear urgency in their word, motivate? Do you think you can hear motivation in someone's, what do you listen for?
The words that they use.
The word, like what?
I really need this. It has to happen.
I need to get out from under this.
Yeah. When can you do it? When do you want to see it?
Need to get this done.
Yeah.
Oh, we need,
Need, have, want.
very good. All of you said great stuff. What about the way they said it?
Yeah, I was gonna say like tonality also.
The tonality. What do we mean by tonality? What does that mean?
Their voice, how it sounds.
Okay. How about the way
It's desperate. They sound desperate.
Their pitch and kind of the cadence to what they're saying.
Right.
And
Right.
their inflection, if it goes up or down, slow or fast.
when someone's upset or stressed, what happens? So they, oh, he just hit my car. Oh, what happens to someone when they're stressed? Does their voice pitch? Who said the word pitch? I like that. That's a great word. Does their pitch go up? Do our voices go up?
Yeah.
And we're said, do we talk faster when we're upset sometimes?
Yeah.
Do we accentuate certain words? Oh my God. How about the hands and the eyes and the whole physical thing, if we can see them?
They kind of tense up.
Yeah. So can we learn to read stuff like this? Oh yeah. Do you think your competition is doing any talking about stuff like this? They're just reading a script. Hi, nice to meet you today. How are you? Just reaching out. I wanted to talk to you about your property and lease purchasing. Can I ask you if can I have a minute of your time? What's going to happen majority of time when you approach somebody like that? Click. You know, we talk a lot about pattern interrupts. So motivation. Okay, first thing, what is their level of motivation? Can we change motivation by the way we speak to them or the way we ask questions? Can we take somebody who's a 4 or 5 and make them a 9 or a 10? How would we do that? How would we do that? I'm being very Socratic today. I'm sorry. I'm making you guys do work. Okay.
Play on their emotion.
Ooh, what do you mean?
So you find out.
I have a house for sale and it just fell out of escrow.
Okay. You want to role play?
Sure. It's Role Play Wednesday.
Hey.
Hey. Okay. Real situation. This happened with a prospect recently. House was in escrow. Was supposed to close in 1 month. It closed in 6 months due to delays, all kinds of garbage. The prospects had to move. They had another commitment on another house far away. All kinds of situations, and it fell out of escrow, and it got legal, and finally they got out of it. And now you're calling me in that's the situation, and you're calling me.
Okay. And you own the house, correct? It's not the house.
I own the house, and
okay.
And I'm a 4 or 5. I've had a lot of people call me. Nobody truly understands my motivation. I'm a 4 or 5, but you need to make me a 9 or 10.
Okay.
And you just learned that it fell out of escrow after 6 months of a lot of BS.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a nice house. It's in Pasadena. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-car garage, really good HOA on it. We love it. Good schools too, and everything. You got to see it to believe it.
Well, awesome. I'm so glad I was able to talk to you today, Claude. How would you like it if I could make you a cash offer today and we could close by the end of the week?
Wow. I mean, how would you do that? I mean, are you pre-qualified or all cash or?
Yeah, so it would be all cash. We don't even have to worry about qualification. So this huge issue that you had with it falling out because of finances, I'm going to take all of that off the table. That won't even ever be an issue. I could show you the other houses I purchased this way. You can look them up, and you have my word, which I know isn't much to you now, but you have my word that we will close. And all of this pain, just imagine what it will be like when you don't have to wake up next week and have this looming over your head.
Okay, time out. I
Okay.
love what you did at the end. I'd
Okay.
like to see that. I'd like to see what you did at the end and put it in the beginning.
Okay.
I'm a 4 or 5. You got to make me a 9 or a 10.
Okay.
Claude, I use something like, Claude, I can't imagine what you and your family went through. You were counting on this. It should have closed back in February, and here we are in in
October.
September, and
Yeah.
and take me to a 9 or a 10.
Okay.
Okay, and use the word we were using. But what was the word we were using on Monday? Who remembers that special word on Monday group session? Charisma. We had a really good discussion on that. Charisma. So while you're getting me to a 9 or 10, you also have to get me to like and trust you.
Okay.
How do you make somebody fall in love with you like that?
Charisma?
Yeah. Charisma is really I see it as a psychological event. It's do we all know somebody who, when they remember Cheers, Norm walked into the bar. Norm, everybody cheered Norm. He walked in the bar, right? Everybody liked Norm. Big old happy, Norm and everything. Do we all know a person like that who walks into a room, a party, and hi, how are you? And everything, and just that person makes you smile, laugh, evokes a strong feeling of affection. Do we all know somebody like that?
Yeah.
You think that's a good superpower to have?
Yeah.
To get people to like you, all that. So I'm sorry to digress, as I always do. Okay, you got to get me to a 9 or a 10.
Okay.
Okay, and you got to use a little bit of empathy here and charisma and everything else like that.
Okay.
And I think the word that comes to my mind is Claude. I can't imagine what you and your family went through. Help me relive the pain.
Okay.
So I get so much emotion that I go to a 9 or a 10.
Okay. Claude, I can't even imagine what it has been like these last 6 months. The stress and the worry and the frustration, and then to have to add on a legal matter. No one should have to go through that. I am so sorry.
It was horrible. It was, my wife and the kids, they're already in Dallas. We've got 2 mortgages now. We're a 1-income household. My wife homeschools the kids and everything like that. And it's, and I'm here stuck with this house so I'm a little bit, you said you really want to close this thing before the end of September. I mean, how do I know? I'm sorry to be a doubting Thomas here, but how do I know you're not like the last guy who did that, tied up my property for 6 months?
So that's such a great question, and I'm really glad that you asked that question. You know what? I can completely understand why you would be doubting. I would be doubting if I was in your situation too. And I can assure you that we will close. And just take a second here. I just want you to imagine what it would be like to be able to fly to Dallas and to tell your wife, honey, the house is sold, and to have money in your pocket and to just not have to worry about this property.
That would be great, but how do I know? What assurances do I have that you have enough skin in the game? I'm sorry to ask you this, but the the last person put a very little money down. They weren't pre-qualified. I didn't ask the right question. How do I know you're really going to close this in 30 days?
Please don't apologize at all, my friend. No apology necessary. I can completely understand. Since it will be an all cash offer, would it make you feel more comfortable if I sent you a screenshot of the money that I have to buy your house? Or what would make you feel most comfortable in this situation?
Could you put a really decent down? Could you put 20% down in escrow?
Yes, absolutely. I can have it wired
Whoa.
tonight.
Wow. Wow. Oh, wow. That would be great. And what about the rest of the money? Is that a bank loan or cash or?
No, it will be
I hope you don't mind me asking I hope you don't mind me asking all these questions. I just want to be really sure this time.
Absolutely. I don't mind at all. You can ask me any and all questions that you have.
Time out. What did she just do so well? What did Cameron just do? Anyone pick up on it?
She gave him, she basically covered all his doubts.
Right. What did she just do, Tiba? Did you pick up on it?
Well, I mean, I think the first thing that jumped out to me was she got you to tell her exactly what you needed for her to close you.
What was my physical?
You
Did anybody watch me on the screen while I was doing this stuff?
Yep, you started to lean in. There was a while where you were pulled back, and then as she started talking and saying the things you liked, you were leaning in. You kind of lit up a little bit more.
Shoulders went down.
Yep.
I wasn't folding my arms. I wasn't, making a stink face and everything. I was doing all this. I was trying to be I'm a very demonstrative person physically. Someone who knows, I'm the easiest person in the world to sell, but nobody knows how to sell me. They don't know how to read me. And I'm so obvious. I really am. I mean, I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm so easy to read physically. And but very few people know how to do that. It's kind of interesting. So I was being a little over the top there. What else did Cameron do? Did she give me something?
Stroke you?
She was stroking. Every time I gave an abrupt stall or an objection. How do I know I can trust you or something? She didn't get defensive. She said something like, I understand how you feel. It's okay to ask me these questions. I'm an open book. There were things like that I was getting from Cameron. I was getting assurance and not defensiveness. Okay. How is that charisma?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Am I slowly, if you were reading me physically, was I slowly starting to like Cameron? Whereas maybe in the beginning, I was like that. Were you seeing changes? Was she reading me? We call it empathy. Or mind reading. Was she really reading me well? And was she using the right words to my abrasive questions?
She was.
Yeah. Did she take me to a 9 or a 10?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she almost got a commitment from me.
I know we didn't get to finish. I had to kill her in there.
Do you want to finish it or someone else wants to take over?
I hope this is being recorded.
It's yes, it is. Actually.
No,
Who wants to close me?
I can try for a close.
Okay, go for it.
I don't know if it's being recorded, not on my end.
I have it recorded on YouTube. It's being recorded.
Oh,
Live
fantastic.
on YouTube,
Okay.
Yeah. And you can download it there, and I'll probably take it down and chop it up or give it to Christina and everybody like that. And Christina, tell everybody after Tiba closes me, you tell everybody what you've been doing brilliantly for me, okay? Tiba, close me.
Okay.
180 seconds, because Cameron has set this up.
Here you go, Tiba. Tiba, here you go.
Oh, just happen to have the 3-minute timer. There you go. Very good.
All right, Claude. So based on what I heard you say a minute ago, so if I'm able to get the 20% down, it can send you the proof of funds. Are you saying you wouldn't be able to sign the paperwork today, would you?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what I want. I mean, you sound like a nice fellow. And, I've been getting a lot of, after what I went through for the last 6 months, and I've been getting a lot of people who, calling me up, and I really had my doubts. You sound like a legitimate guy.
Yeah, yeah, I can imagine just having all those people constantly calling, and every time your phone rings, it's, Bill, Bob, asking you the same 5 questions over and over. That's got to be exhausting. I can only imagine that's been exhausting.
Yeah, I'm going to do a quick micro exchange here.
Okay.
I just gave you a compliment. What happens subconsciously when somebody gives you a compliment and you don't acknowledge it or return it? What do you think happens subconsciously?
They kind of pull back. I didn't catch a compliment though. Never mind.
I'll give you guys
You're a
an
nice
example.
guy. Yep.
I'll give you guys an example. Did anyone here ever send a wedding gift or a check to somebody graduating or something, and you did not get a thank you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of us, we had one kid, a friend of a friend. We knew the family. We knew the kid somehow. Kid was graduating. We sent him a check. I don't know, and seemed like a nice kid and every nice family and everything. Never got an acknowledgement for $100 check. All of a sudden, it went from a nice kid to a little shit. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you don't send them anything anymore.
Well, you wish you didn't send them the first check.
Yeah.
Okay. What happens when people, I'm sorry to not, this is so important. These are one of these little subconscious things. You may not consciously see it, but it's being recorded and saved, and it's going to manifest itself back out again. Gee, I just said something really nice to him, and I think what I said is, you sound like a nice guy. You answered my questions. I really, I've been talking to a lot of Looney Tune people, and what we went through for 6 months, and you just sound like a good man, a righteous man.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, Claude. And, I can tell based on our conversation, you care about your family. You seem the same way.
Oh, tell me off the role play. Tell me how huge that is, what he just did. How huge is that? How big is that when we're talking about charismatic speech? Okay. If I gave him the compliment and he goes into amateur sales mode, like, oh, that's great. He likes me. Let me go back into my presentation. Okay.
You don't feel acknowledged.
Yeah.
You don't feel acknowledged.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a moment. You think he just brought me closer?
Yeah.
Do you think he just did a charismatic move? Do you think I like him a lot more? He returned my compliment.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. And now Cameron doesn't have to fire me for blowing her clothes.
And I have grace for you, my friend.
Another form. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I was just making a joke. It's okay.
Another form of this is when someone asks me a question, anything.
Hey, Claude, what's your favorite place in Colorado?
Thank you for that. That is an interesting question. I have several. Now, you must have brought that up for a reason. I'm really curious. Why did you just ask that? It's a great question.
Yeah, I mean, I plan on going to Colorado someday.
Oh, okay. Boom. It's the same thing, only different. That's a great question. That's an interesting question. A lot of people have been asking me that. You've really done your homework. What happens when we acknowledge or compliment, or stroking, we call it, when we do that, even though I know the answer? It's called a stop and go technique, by the way. You start to answer the question, and then you stop, you acknowledge it, you stroke or nurture, and then you get them to give you more information on it. The same thing I did with Tiba a minute ago. Okay. Does that get us closer together? Or maybe I need more information about this person. We're early on in the conversation. And all this. See these little micro moves, these little moves, as opposed to just giving out a lot of facts and information and numbers and stuff like that. How important is it to get people to like and trust you? That charismatic thing we were talking about on Monday. How huge is that?
Huge.
What if I got a choice between Tiba, Cameron, and 5 other people who have made me maybe same or similar offers, who am I going to pick?
Whoever you know, like, and trust the most.
Amen,
Mhm.
sister. You got it. Exactly. Tiba, close me.
Okay.
Tiba, you're great. I mean, I feel really good about you. I don't know. There's something about you. You sound like you really know what you're talking about. You sound like a righteous dude.
Well, thank you, Claude. I really appreciate that. And, I've enjoyed my time chatting with you as well. You seem like a great guy. And, maybe when we get this thing closed up at some point, I'll come down to Texas and we can have a beer.
Beer and some barbecue. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. I got some great places to take you to. So how's this all going to happen? Do we have to get some paperwork or go to an attorney or what? Where should we go from here? I don't really know what to do here. I feel really dumb because I made a mistake last time. I'm probably one of the stupidest people you've ever spoken to.
Oh, Claude, you are being entirely too hard on yourself. The things that you've gone through, unfortunately, probably happen more often than you realize. And you were just doing your best to take care of your family. So, I appreciate that you're asking me questions about what's next. And I want to make this as easy for you as possible.
Time out again. That was beautiful. Give them a round for that. What happens when you're talking to someone and they put themselves down or they beat themselves up? What is should you just ignore it or do what Tiba just did? That was brilliant, my friend.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was a great job.
You've got to fix people. Why?
So
Because
go ahead, Christina.
because that kind of determines whether you get the deal or not. Because if they're being so down on themselves, you're furthering the motivation from them. And especially if you bypass it and kind of just let it go, they're kind of like, oh, well, I'm just another number to this person.
Yeah. I just put myself down. I beat myself up. Go ahead, JC. I think you wanted to say something.
Yeah, it's like you said earlier, it's all about the subconscious mind.
Mm-hmm.
It stays in their mind. It's like, hold on.
Well, and they need someone. This is a perfect example of needing a cheerleader. They're intentionally, subconsciously saying that because they want someone to tell them that they're good and awesome and right and true and a wholesome family man. And if you blow over it, then you lost your opportunity to really, on a subconscious level, create that relatability where you're literally their cheerleader, because everybody wants a cheerleader. Everybody needs a leader, but everybody wants a cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
You lost a magic moment.
Yeah.
Did anyone ever have somebody who said the right thing at the right moment at the right time, and you had this instant affection for this person?
Mm-hmm.
Instantly.
I had them both.
Yeah.
You say the right words at the right time, and then when you don't acknowledge, you see the results.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so important. Vic, welcome. What do you think about all this?
Amazing. It's great work that you're doing here, Claude. This is so awesome.
Yeah, this is $1 million sales that we're talking about. It's got to be more than having all the answers and having a pretty slideshow and having great marketing materials and stuff like that. It's how do we touch another person's soul? How do we make a memory? We're in a competitive world. We're in a very competitive world. We've got people who are bigger and fancier offices and spend a lot of money on marketing, and they have all the whiz bang bells and whistles and everything. Can a solopreneur, that's the word Christina taught me yesterday. Remember, I think, was it yesterday? Yeah, I think you said the word solopreneur. And how can one person who is knowledgeable and gives good value, but is in a very competitive world with people who are bigger and shinier and everything like that, can that one person touch another person's soul by the way they communicate?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
How dangerous a business person do you become when you get people to, when you understand the psychology of these charismatic behaviors, when you read their minds, you know what they're thinking and feeling, you know how to anticipate it, you know how to answer it, you know how to bring them in closer and closer. How powerful is that?
Very.
Dangerous too.
Can I share something, Claude?
Absolutely.
I had a guy on REI reply the other day that I sent him a text that said, you know, what he liked to do in a nice way, what he liked to do, the lease option thing, you know, but he just responded simply, yes. So I called him, and I don't feel like we ever connected on that level. It was very perfunctory. He said he'd meet me on a Zoom meeting that evening. So I got Justin and we were trying to do a Zoom. He didn't show up. I texted him. He didn't respond. I said, Justin, I'm sorry, maybe he took a nap. I called him. I just totally lost him. And I'm just looking back, trying to figure out what I could have done different. And I think it was connecting more. I did most of the talking, and I just don't think I connected with him, even though he is interested in a lease option. Not with me, I guess.
Did you, and that's a good role play we'll do after this. How do we get an ironclad commitment from somebody so that, you know, if you're just approaching somebody and say, oh, listen, let's have a meeting tomorrow. Oh, that's great. Yeah, let's do that. And you don't get that ironclad commitment, that strong emotional bond and commitment from that person. They're going to say, oh, she's just another salesperson. Who cares? She talks to hundreds of people a day. So what? Goodbye. There's no connection there. There's no guilt. Okay. How many people here are raised by Jewish mothers who impose tons of guilt on them? Okay. Guilt is a good thing, is sometimes, right? When you get something in your mind, no, I got to make that meeting. I promised Valerie I'd make that meeting. I made a strong commitment to her. So we'll go back into that. I thought of another quick story, and Tiba, I'm not going to forget you. We're going to let you close me. But I remember once I had a friend. He graduated from medical school. He was an intern, but he was still not making any money. It was still very low on the totem pole as an intern and everything else like that. And I made a comment about how in business he could have made a lot more money, you know. And it was a stupid thing for me to say, actually. And he responded. He said, "Yes, Claude, but I get to save lives." Did I shut up? The response, right? And I said to him, you know, you're totally right. That was a dumb thing for me to say on it. So the responses are real important. Tiba, close me. I think we have 60 seconds left, right? What's my JC timer say?
There you go, Tiba.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Tiba, that was the great response before. Close me, buddy.
All right. So yeah, Claude,
I'm ready. I'm ready. I feel good about you. I'm ready to move forward.
okay. Sorry. Where are we at?
I'm ready to move forward.
Okay. All right, Claude. So here's how this is going to work. You're in front of a computer. Are we on the phone or are we on a computer? Okay.
We're on Zoom.
Okay, great, Claude. So
Face.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to send you an agreement, and we can walk through it step by step. That way you can review it, ask me any questions you have. And then after that, once you look at it, you feel good about it, you go ahead and get it signed. After it's signed, we'll go ahead and take it. I'll move it to title. I'll get that 20% put in like we had discussed. And then we'll go forward from there.
You're going to put that money in today?
You sign the paper today, I'll get the money sent in today, Claude.
Give me a stroke. That's great. Thank you for reminding me, Claude.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Okay. Great question, Claude. Thank you for reminding me of that.
Suppose I was able to transfer the money today, but you wouldn't be able to get me the contract, yada, yada. Go ahead.
All right. Great question, Claude. Thank you for asking me that. I appreciate you reminding me of that. So suppose I was able to put that 20% in today, like we talked about, you wouldn't be able to get me that contract back today, would you?
If you can, I can get it. You get it to me, I'll sign it and get it right back to you. But if you can, and you're going to put 20% down with our attorney or escrow company, you can do that today.
Yeah. And if and you know, and just, I know, I just want to reconfirm that if I am able to get that 20% in like we discussed, you will be able to get everything signed today, right?
I'll sign it right now. I'll do it right now. You sold me, man. I feel good about you.
Okay, perfect. Here we go. I'm sending it right now. Let me know
I
when you,
feel good about you.
I keep missing that, Claude.
Yeah. You know what?
Thank
Yeah,
you.
now, off the role play, do you know why you missed it?
Why?
What's the $1 million rule?
People sell emotionally.
Okay. What happens when we, as the salesperson, you're the salesperson, we get emotionally involved? You're going, oh God, I got the deal. I'm so excited.
Shining eyes.
What
Yeah.
what happens? We forget things, right?
We forget things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we're not reacting intellectually. So you got to, as the gut salesperson, you've got to switch gears constantly. You've got to
Mhm.
adapt. You got to be spontaneous. What's the word the comedians do? Improvisation.
No problem.
You've got to. This is why practice is so important.
Mhm.
On that. What was the compliment I gave you before? Something was that?
You
I
speak
feel
like
so
an
good
expert.
with you.
I feel
Yeah.
so, yeah. I feel so good with you. I don't know why. I feel like I really could trust you.
We're still role playing. Okay.
Yeah, we're back in the role play. We're back in the role play here.
Well, thank you, Claude. You know, and I absolutely, I appreciate that. And, you know, I feel the same way about you as well. Like we've had a really good conversation and I just, you know, I appreciate the way that you're asking questions and just ensuring that, you know, you're comfortable.
We're having a bromance here. We're aren't
Sort of.
we? I mean, we're getting really. I mean, when you have a conversation like this with somebody and it's sincere, what's the likelihood they're going to ghost you, disappear on you, not keep commitments? What's the likelihood?
Slim to none.
Slim. Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, you got a deal, sir. You got my word on it. Send me the paperwork. And I can't wait to call my wife. And we're going to get together in Texas and do some barbecue and beer.
That's right. Absolutely.
Boom.
All right.
Good boom. Did you see?
Question.
Go ahead. Sure.
Wouldn't he want you to open it up?
Yeah.
Why on the Zoom?
Open what up? I'm sorry.
The contract. Like, hey, I'm going to send it over to you. Do you think you could check your email just to make sure it didn't go in your spam?
Sure. Go ahead. Go ahead. You take over. Claude, I'm going to send you. Also, what you might want to add is, Claude, you know what? I'm sending you over an agreement. And if you like, we can meet and I can go over it step by step. If you have any questions or anything, I want you to, you know everything we're doing in here, the time frame, the money, and everything else. Would that make you comfortable? Something like that.
Okay. Oh, am I role playing now?
If you want, yeah. So we'll switch
Sure.
to you. Go ahead.
Okay. So hey, since you're on your computer right now, I'm going to email it over. So okay, so
Okay,
it's
great.
that. So can you check and make sure you got it and it didn't go into spam or anything?
Yeah, I got it here. Wow, it looks a lot of legalese and stuff here.
It's total legalese, but how about if you have about a few minutes, can I walk you through it right now so I can kind of help you understand it? You can ask any questions, as many questions as you want, just so that
you are so wonderful. Oh, I love doing business with you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So how about I will just sit right here. I can just wait on the Zoom. If you want to peruse it, you take your time. You can take it as long as you need. And anything, no matter how small or how insignificant you think it is, you can ask me. There's no such thing as a silly or stupid question.
Well, you haven't heard some of my questions yet.
What was that?
You haven't heard some of my questions yet.
Oh, well, I've heard them all. And you want to know what? This is so confusing. I've asked even 10 times sillier questions than you. So
funny story.
Go ahead.
You closed me. You got me. Funny story. I'm at a seminar. I'm listening. And somebody in the audience raised their hand to the speaker and said, I have a stupid question. And the speaker was very, there's no such thing as a stupid question. Well, he asked the question. And then I went to the person next to me. No, he was right. That was a stupid question.
Well, then I'll rephrase. You can ask stupid questions even though they're stupid, I'll still give you the best answer, but it may be a stupid answer. No, I'm kidding.
Absolutely. Very good.
I always,
Christina, let me tell everybody what you've been doing for me the last 2 weeks, just real quick. I just want to talk about marketing for a second.
We've been doing the shorts for you, remixing and repurposing your already existing content and giving you attraction marketing by doing the little YouTube shorts.
Yeah,
I don't know if you guys seen them.
Yeah, I have.
I've been putting up I've been
One or
putting up
two.
a lot of YouTube shorts,
Yeah.
and the reaction I'm getting is spectacular. I love it. It's developing, it's increasing my following, my subscription rate.
Nice.
It's bringing in more potential, high probable prospects.
Good
When I
job.
look at it, I say, oh, he's so creative.
You
Because I
know,
see
and
your backdrop
No.
and different things.
Christina took a video from, my wife and I were trying to figure out how old that video was. I think it was from 25 or 30 years ago. I'm about 30 pounds heavier. Okay. And I've got a lot longer hair. And it was me being attacked by some ducks while I'm doing a movie. Least purchased. the
Your
movie.
hair is fabulous, by the way, Claude. Like,
Thank
I'm
you.
envious of it.
Thank you. It's very nice
You're
of you to say
welcome.
that. Boom. So you got to return it. You know, when the ball comes up, anybody here play tennis? When the ball comes over to your side, what do you have to do?
Return it.
You
Gotcha.
have to return it. Same thing. And same thing when you're speaking with somebody. That's a good I think that's one of the most important takeaways from today's meeting.
That's a
Um,
great analogy. There you go, Christina. Make that a short.
Yeah.
Getting right on it.
You know, somebody goes to you and says, gee, JC, I love, you have helped me so much with this deal. Your advice and it was just fantastic. Thank you so much for your time and your knowledge and everything. You were great, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It was nice talking to you, Claude.
Okay.
You were great. We had a nice conversation.
Now you want me as a client, you have a consulting business. So maybe, you know, and maybe you gave me a freebie here, a pro bono kind of thing, but you want to keep me as a client. How would you turn around that compliment and return it to me and then close me? You're great, man. This information you gave me, you know, I've been looking for days and everything, and in 10 minutes of conversation, you solved my problem. You are fantastic, man. Thank you so much. You are so knowledgeable.
I'm stuck here now.
Okay, someone help him. Go ahead.
Well, thank you so much, Claude. I mean, I was only able to help you out because you gave me so much and back.
Smart woman. That was great.
Mhm.
That was it was only because you were communicative. You gave me the right information, and boom. Now go to close me. Get me as a client. 30 seconds.
Well, Claude, because we had such a enjoyable conversation, both of us, and it was mutual, I feel like we're able to do a little bit more business moving forward. Would you feel comfortable with that or not? It's okay if you go ahead and.
I don't know. Okay, off the role play. This is where I want you to be assertive.
Okay.
Claude, I've made a decision.
Okay.
Don't ask me. Tell me.
Okay.
Okay. There's a time and a place for assertiveness. When I perceive there's a difference between bullying somebody and when somebody gives you advice assertively for your own benefit and you perceive it as a benefit. This is that moment. One more time, another shot.
Okay. Claude, you know, we've had such a good mutual conversation,
great.
And
love it.
You know what? I think I've made a decision. We're gonna go ahead and move forward with X plan and go ahead and give you the last month free. Is that something you'd feel comfortable with?
You mean continue to work together professionally? Is that what you're saying or offering?
Right.
I'm a little confused. Oh, I didn't know that you do that. Oh, that's a great idea. Are you expensive?
Well, we can be, but is there a reason that you're asking that?
Yeah, money's tight right now, inflation, gas and things like that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
The state
completely
of
understand.
California turned off my electricity, and
Oh no, I'm so sorry about that.
well, they did it to 5 million other people too, or
Oh, okay. I'm glad you weren't alone in the dark then. Okay, so if that's an issue, maybe we can go ahead and do a payment plan instead. Would that help you out a little bit better?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Boom. Off the role play, when I see, when we're having this mutual admiration society, this might be a point where you want to say, you know what, Valerie, I've made a decision. I want to continue working with you and helping. Do these problems that you brought me today, do they come up often? Are they costly to you, time consuming, irritating? They're not like that, are they?
They are. I think we're a good match. Let's keep working together.
I'd love to make this work. And this is what we charge. And if that's comfortable for your budget, if not, I can work something out with you. But I'd like us to move forward today. How do you feel about that?
Great. I'll make it work.
Thank you. Boom.
Claude,
Go ahead.
would it be too bold or forward to say if we've accomplished this much in 10 minutes, like I've loved talking to you, all the niceties, and if we've accomplished this much in 10 minutes, imagine what we can accomplish in like an hour consulting session?
I love that. You're taking me from a 6 to a 10.
Okay.
Okay. You've got to get me so strongly emotionally involved. You've got to put the picture, you're Spielberg, and you've got to put this movie in my head.
Okay.
So that I see, I feel, I can smell it. I'm experiencing it so strongly. I say, you know what, I've got to do this. This makes so much sense. And then you have to justify it still intellectually. You got to talk about the money and the performance and everything else like that. But you get the decision. This decision is really made emotionally on this. We are out of time. What did we learn today? Around the room here. Tell me something you learned today, Christina.
Today I learned that oh God, I'm going blank.
It's okay.
Everything is emotional when doing with sales.
Yeah. What were some of the techniques we used today, Cameron?
So we used emotional selling, we used know, like, and trust, we used stroke and nurture. And I learned that you always must return the ball to the other side of the court.
And we call that
Reciprocity.
Reciprocity.
Oh, really? Okay. Reciprocity.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Reciprocity. Okay. Always get something back that you really want.
Okay.
Give it back. Give it back because it talks to the unconscious mind, which is very powerful.
Yes. And then you can go right to the close on that. Valerie.
Take your time. Don't get so excited about the sale that you start moving fast and missing steps. Take your time.
I like that. JC.
I just said talking to the unconscious mind. So when you receive a compliment, return it back because it stays in their unconscious mind, and it could either make the deal or break it.
I wish we had another hour just to talk about the unconscious mind.
Yeah, I really like that subject today.
That would be a hot topic.
And definitely. Be assertive also.
Oh, assertive. But assertive, when you're assertive, you're like a bully, aren't you?
No, like you said, it comes at a time where you have to be assertive.
Sometimes do we want somebody to act like a professional? Do we like authority figures when our feelings are it's in our best interest?
Yes.
Especially when they do it with charisma.
Oh, when you blend it with charisma. Christina, can I tell you the truth? And you might get a little mad at me, but I like you so much. I feel you deserve the truth. Can I tell you the truth without getting too mad at me? Maybe just a little bit. Is it all right? Or should I lie to you?
No, it's okay. Go ahead and tell me the truth.
Boom. Okay. So I even told her she's going to get mad at me ahead of time. Okay. So did I set this whole thing up so that if what I say to her next is so reasonable, so emotional and caring, and it's logical. It makes sense. Do you think I could close her after that?
Mhm.
I got a lot possibility. These are those little magic moments. Tiba, you get the last word, my friend.
My big takeaway was when you're in a state of mutual admiration, a great way to exit that is to become the authority and move forward.
You said that so well. I love the way you just said that. That was brilliant, my friend.
Thanks.
No, you
Thank
got to
you for
give it
saying
back.
that.
See, I did that.
Thank you for saying that. I was going in. I was
You
like,
did,
wait a
you did.
minute, wait a minminute. I learned something today. Thanks, Bob. I appreciate the
I'm
way you
sorry. I'm a mean person today. It was like begging for a compliment, right? Thanks all of you for Role Play Wednesday. It was a lot of fun. An hour goes so darn fast and everything. And go out there and have some fun and be creative in sales and learn to ask questions and have fun with this, okay?
When does
Thank
your
you.
book come out?
I'm sorry?
When does your book come out? Your new book?
That's a really good question. We'll talk about that next Wednesday. Actually, I'm going to release chapters very soon.
Okay,
Chapter
great.
by chapter, kind of, to be continued kind of thing.
Okay.
Just what did Al Pacino say in Godfather 3? Just when I got out, they pulled me back in. I love Godfather quotes and that that Tom Cruise movie. You had me at hello, show me the money. I love. Oh, thank you. That movie has so many. That and The Godfather have so many good quotes that are so useful. Hey, everybody, have a good day. Okay.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Carl.
Hey, Bob, you too.
See you later.
Bye.